September 12th, 2024. Yesterday on September 11th, 2024 in Bueller's North Main. Again, there were some idiot women. Okay? They said, they said that they had her blah, 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 blah. And they said, we already found out they were drugging her and telling her to say stuff. Nobody's to say a word. Don't act like you're slow. They admitted that in 18. They photoshopped all their lies. Raised some guy named Chris Halloran. I never had a Chris in my house. They said he was one of the main people hurting me. That's how not funny it is. Now, you talk about scary movie shit. Where the guy in the mall said he could write a bestseller on what happened. You call it Karen's Prayers. A paid-off dirty agent. A man trying to kill his wife and men being shot at running. It'd be a bestseller. You add a fentanyl king, an Iraqi terrorist, a Russian drug lord, all the human traffickers coming together and attacking Ohio, all caught under police surveillance, with a court order from the FBI for protected home custody for an FBI informant for a threat of life, with statements in a judge's order. Okay? That's where the sheriffs and the marshals use the case, because they had a court order to have my phone bugged, for the police to follow me around with body cams, my car's bugged, and they're confessing who they work for and what crimes they were doing. All they had to do was follow. They already had them confessing. They didn't think they were stoppable. You know, Memorial Day weekend, 2019, I went down to Walmart 62. By the food aisle, there's an older white lady. She's screaming for the Walmart to hear. For it's my daughter her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna. Okay? And it's for my daughter. They did all this for her, and our family watching her doing this. Where Dave hit me with the board in the face on the third day for making the comment, oh, I could pick it up. So he picked it up and smacked me in the face and broke my teeth and learned not to smart off to me. Ran off to the store in Ravenna. According to the neighbor 4 or 5 houses down from John Thomas where we lived. Said he showed up in the store, screamed out, I don't want my wife anymore. Will all you help get rid of her? And they all agreed to help. And it was people in the store of Ravenna that did it to her before. A lot of them didn't even work for a while. And they were willing to hurt her for money. I'm tired of this. Okay? Pete's a drug dealer. Impersonated retired Judge Pete. That's where they thought if they put a retired judge's name on it, they'd be above the law. No man's above the law. I'm in immunity for life, and I wouldn't dare break the law. Like Officer Mark said, we'll give Karen no wrongdoing in life because he knew she wouldn't abuse it. I have one traffic ticket from 1989. I paid my ticket. Squeaky clean. Okay? I asked my daughter-in-law, Dixie, did you know about Michelle? Yeah, I knew about her. I said, you know about Pete? I said, oh, I found out about him. She knew them both. The people that were trying to kill her family was going in her house. What do you think about that? That's where that Michelle and Lauren been showing up, bragging to everybody from Louisville in May or June of 19. They were stealing everything for them. October 4th, 23, Masson screamed that Will stole all the money for them. Told up in Akron he was stealing for them. October 6th, 23, said it's actually John's girlfriend. Say one guy from the case's girlfriend, that Lauren. December 2nd, 22, it's the one guy from the case stealing every dime since the first day. December 2nd, 22 at noon. My phone's bumped in Alliance, Wendy's. Okay? He's a thief. I was up in Hartville this last month. Some guy said the police said not to say a word to her. That agent was telling everybody he was just acting this way to go to get the drug dealers. They don't believe him anymore because they got all those drug dealers. And he didn't give her money. That they think he did it to steal. Arrest him. You know, back in October or November of 21, a Michael Peterson got a hold of me through Farmer's app. Started telling me he was from Italy, and I thought he was riffraff. Okay? And then he started sounding legit, how he volunteers at his church, offered me a free apartment, felt bad for everything I lived through. Then he said he was going to buy into an oil field, then an oil tanker, actually. And he was going to, and I thought, if you can afford that, what are you wanting with me? Okay? Because you can get young and beautiful. It don't matter how old and ugly you are. If you can afford an oil tanker, something young and beautiful kiss all over you. What do you want with me? Okay? He said he was going to go down and get it from Venezuela. Looked it up. It's full of oil. Okay? Said he was dealing with Trekasami. Looked him up. He's wanted for $10 million from our government. I said, are you taking the oil back to Italy? No, I'm being used as a third party to get it into the United States. We have sanctions. We have sanctions against them. No dealings. I said, I don't believe you. Why would I lie to you? I said, I don't believe you. You're going to have to prove it. So he sent me large money transfers that he admitted later on he was using to pay the people to push the paperwork through. Okay? And I thought, why are you paying them to push the paperwork through? He's like, oh, the government down here is really corrupt. You just don't understand how corrupt it is. Okay? I said, well, when are you leaving? Got when he was leaving for the airport. Got where the oil tanker's coming back in the state where the refinery was. Got a letter of allegation from him for buying 750,000 gallons of oil. Okay? One time I was calling him, find out exactly when he's leaving. He answers the phone. Hi, darling. A woman in the background. Hi, Karen. It's funny she doesn't know what's going on. Oh, and the phone went dark, and all of a sudden he got back on the phone. Hi, darling. I said, when do you leave for the airport? Turned everything in, and the police and the feds were already recording with the case. Went ahead and turned it in anyways. The investigators said they called down there, find out about Michael Peterson's shipment. It wasn't legit. They did an investigation. Michael Peterson was selling oil and stealing from the oil ministry over the country. He got arrested. Like they set up in Akron, what an accomplishment. One of their informants got him information leading to the arrest of Trekasami. They were talking about it from Akron to Alliance. They were wondering if he wasn't paying for all the drug dealers to come here. Investigators were yelling at those people, you have dealings with Trekasami, go to jail for that shit. He's in jail now. Now, I want you to also think, January 13th, 23, I met with a friend out in Worcester. He said, I work at a factory, but I race horses professionally. You told me what happened to you. I went to one of the drug dealers on the racetrack. He said, they said all the Ohio drug dealers know that you didn't know that agent was in debt to that drug dealer. And that's why he let all this happen. He owed him money, and how mad they were at him. The next week, he showed up with the U.S. Marshals on January 20th, 23, when we met out there. Okay? And he he said, I got a friend in the police department. All these cars have been following me around. Most of the men come in and sit down in dress shirts. He said, I got a friend in the police department. I thought, you brought him? They knew about the case that agent opened with you. They knew about the Texas group involved in your case. Like the King's men, because we all work for the King from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. He's a fentanyl king. It's where all the amnesia drugs came from. Dave said he hired Pete on his own. Pete works for the fentanyl king. He's a drug dealer. Okay? And then he went on about there's a retired judge in Texas involved in this. They went down to question him. He killed himself. There was another retired judge in another state involved in this big human trafficking scam. They found 35 people tied up in a railroad car, African American people. They were just taking them, shooting them, and throwing their bodies along railroad tracks. They're going to use that case that agent opened with you to get these drug traders, human trafficking people. Like the investigator said, the way the agent opened that case, it stands up in court without her. We don't even need her. It's a protected home custody case, threat of life, with statements for an FBI informant with a judge's order. And the sheriffs and the police have been taping this with a court order. It can't be disputed. And all those idiots bragging who they are, from the Gentlemen's Club in Florida to Henry Motley and his group, to the Kingsmen from Texas, to the California drug dealers, to the Buffalo, New York, to Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland drug dealers, and Georgia human traffickers, Florida human traffickers, and Texas. What they were doing, the crimes, and who they worked for. And then I told you how to find out who the Russian drug lord was. Okay? Now I want you to think about that. Like they said, she was part of a really big bust. Where I met with my friend on January 20th, 23, and we got done talking. He started drilling me in front of him until I was stuttering. I walked outside, they yelled out, "We're the U.S. Marshals. We're going to be taking care of this." They were complaining about the agent over my case. He said he left her there because she's supposed to be weird with herself. The shower scene in the other room. They laughed at him for falling for it, how they made a fool out of him. Where the cops said they already knew it was a shower scene. Where the police have even told me no law enforcement would fall for that. Drug confessions and photoshopping and washing done in a drug scam from a drug dealer. No law enforcement would fall for that. Okay? He said he left her there because she's weird with herself. Who would care if she was? And it was probably them and not her. It was them and not me. That's why they called him a fool. And he left her there. Can you imagine? He left her there. We'll take care of this. And they left. February 14th, 23, they did an 800 people sweep. April 8th, 23, to the Dark Hotel shows up at Giant Eagle in Hartville. Said if Will used your case to infiltrate her gang, tell them to give you your money, we're out of here. Two of the cops walked by and we actually did. I laughed in their face. I've been monkey in the middle for 6 years. Okay? I had some of my cops show up after that. They learned to stay away from her. Okay? Andrew Derevich, up in Ravenna, was arrested for cyber stalking. Sextortion. Got 12 to 15 years. Had 7 victims. Dave hiring Pete on his own is hiring a hitman. Hiring a hitman to kill, destroy, or harm somebody is 10 years. They get hurt as 20. They die as life. It's a federal law. What was supposed to happen to Dave for hiring a hitman? He was to be arrested by federal law. By federal law, he was to be arrested. They admitted, they said they had sodium pentothal reports. Okay? The date rape, amnesia drugs. So you're sleepwalking. There's over 20 prescription drugs in high doses that cause it without the legal drugs. Okay? Like the criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, police departments. We all know about those amnesia drugs. They were sleepwalking. They call them mind-controlling drugs. And they can control you for 4 to 6 hours. They break in the case they could control anybody. They could even brainwash you with them. Now, we all know about the roofie, date rape drugs, amnesia drugs. And everything's digital. They can Photoshop scenes, words, out of sentences, other sentences, tape over. Make a new sentence, make it look like you're saying something you didn't. They can put your head on somebody else's body, change your hair color, eye color. They can change your clothes. They can put you in another room. Like I said, they could take you showering, stand you on top of the space shuttle out in space, put a spacesuit on you so you look like you're doing a funky dance in space. In a spacesuit. My friend Jim said his son had his movies to watch on TV for a living. He's got an app on his phone. He could do all that from his phone. They got apps for that. Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin wanted to know if our police force low. They already knew this for years. Sheriff Joe in Florida starts swearing. Those date rape amnesia drugs are so bad they could have drugged up the people and told them to take down the towers, and they did what they were told. They're that controlling. What's wrong with your local police? And anything can be photoshopped. Nobody's allowed in your home. It's the Fourth Amendment. Now, I want you to think about this. That's why June 7th, 23, Stark County Sheriffs have their Lighthouse Tabernacle, Katie's sister, Jody, and the cartel, FBI agent John fell for the stun on tapes before. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent actually fell for it. It was only a stunt. You're kidding. You mean John actually fell for that? You mean that FBI agent actually fell for a stunt on tapes before? It was only a stunt. Is that what's going on? FBI agent John fell for a stunt on tapes before. Screamed out in Walmart 62, June 7th, 23, 10, 11 in the morning. Saw videos of it. Made a public fool out of him. Wait till he finds the tape where they said they set him up to be arrested. The drug dealers. It was a setup for him to go to jail. People were finding that one last month. Because they would come in and tell me they photoshopped a shower scene. They photoshopped. Their tapes are so altered. March 1st to 3rd of 21, they said they put 2 clips together, made a porn. It's not her, it's them. Don't worry about her. March 13, 21, I'm in Mercy Medical. A lady comes in, no man was ever to touch her. The nurse and a guy comes in, the only thing they had on her was adjusting herself. The guy said, that's sick. He said, no, it's funny. She simply wiped off water with clothes on. He said, that's sick. He said, no, it's funny. She just simply brushed it off. They didn't have anything else. She said, it's actually really funny. Okay? Then they started saying, you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself, look weird. That's disgusting. I was so upset. My stomach started bleeding. Pooped out blood for days. Okay? I didn't know. Then I got to thinking, what would you be doing? You touch yourself, you expose yourself, you're undressing. You touch yourself, look weird, but not weird. What are you doing? You'd be putting yeast infection cream on. Or you get undressed and get in the shower and you're washing yourself. It's showering, isn't it? Even Maddie gets showering or washing. You have to wash yourself sometime. Smell like a diaper otherwise. Okay? Go outside to smoke. I said, it's showering, isn't it? Off in the distance, they're laughing at me. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22. At noon, they found the tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22. At noon, they said the shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. February and March of 22, I'm working in Navarre. Next door neighbor, the first day they called, said Pete ordered everything to be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on her. They told Edith Oakland Apartment, December 9, 21, 4 p.m., that all the tapes before were them and not me, and it was just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street worked my case. Came out and said we always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so we never said a word. See, that's where in like March or April this year, on a Sunday, in Longhorn Steakhouse in Belgium, there were some investigators. They were laughing. They said, yeah, that weird with yourself? We already knew it was a Photoshop shower scene. And they're giggling like mean teenage boys. And the guy said, well, it's not funny. You can tell she was drugged. And they said they drugged her and told her to say it before. You could tell she was drugged. Okay? I have a lot more of March 24th, 22, 1:30 about framing me, to the beginning of the case, that old man showing up. He worked for Dave. He had used sodium pentothal, drugged me up and told me to say wrong nightgown, butt lie, and if I tried to leave Dave, they'd list me a child molester. That it was their whole plan if I didn't die, in front of the cops and the facts. And they were drugging me and telling me to say lies. They told, right in Walmart 62 by Wood Forest. Dave admitted I was dressed modestly and they only seen the back of my knees. The guy had made up the whole thing. Okay? I never seen anybody or talked to anybody before the FBI. I thought the dirty well water, showering it, washing it, was killing me. I was, by the second week, I was standing around the front yard almost passing out in front of the neighbor. The male nurse come running over, can I help you? I'm a nurse. I don't know what's wrong with me. My heart's racing through my neck. I'm staggering. I'm almost falling here. I'm being raped in my own home. Drugged up and told to say stuff. They had set up button cameras, cyber stalking me. And then photoshopped, I found out a shower scene. By January 19, they said they photoshopped a feminine wipey above the toilet in the other room. They are supposed to photoshopped me bending over a tub and exposing my butt. God, I haven't. They were supposed to have photoshopped all their lies. They're supposed to have drugged you and told you to say you're a flasher. They're supposed to have drugged you and told you to say you hurt people. I never hurt anybody and I'm not a flasher. I think the richest one, they said, came up to me and said, they drugged you and told you to say the mean game of pretend. It's a mean game of pretend I didn't know about for a year later until Flora stated it. I didn't know. And like she said, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. It was games of pretend. Like the police came up to me. Melissa's so stupid. She made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. Her first lie, she was in it with the drugger and Dave. The wrong nightgown and tushy lie. The second lie, they came upstairs, looked through a cracked bathroom door, and you're supposed to be weird with yourself. Ew. I have I have Jen and Dave taped that they did never come upstairs on the 4th of July, and I was outside with everybody else. And when we went in the one door, they went out another door and didn't say goodbye. And there was a bathroom in the basement where they're having pillow fights, a sectional couch, a TV, a bathroom, laundry room, and the puppies. And they were having pillow fights. You could hear them laughing outside. got too hot. We went in one door, they went out the other door, and John had left because he was in a hurry. Didn't even come out. I didn't go up. They didn't come upstairs, and I wasn't in the bathroom. They're supposed to Photoshop that. Then you think about who's being dirty when you're looking through a cracked bathroom door. You're being a pervert. Somebody's wiping their hiney. What if you had to put yeast infection cream on? It makes you dirty for being a peeking Tom. That's just like the stupidest lie. The third lie, they'll make up something, call you a bad word. That's all they would tell me. Okay? And this whole thing is fucking shit. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Karen's a good woman. This is nothing but fucking shit. Okay? That's how they put it. Alright. October 23rd, 2019. Where everything has already been erased. Taken care of. I'm at BB's first party. And I was talking about, you know how mad I was when I heard those kids say the house was meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shaw and Papa, and Grandma needs to get out. Flora's like, they said this. I would have spanked her butt. It was horrible and perverted. And Josh is like, don't say that again. It's not true. She started yelling. Well, of course it's not true. Of course it never happened. We made it up. They were games of pretend. We were only joking. And laughing. I would have spanked them all. I didn't know. Until she stated it. And she's sitting there chuckling. And chuckling so hard. She's... I would have spanked them. That Dixie tape with the permission of Melissa's Kids' Mean Games of Pretend. They're documented Mean Games of Pretend. Okay. Now I got May 25th, 21, 6 p.m. of the church people breaking in before, drugging me, telling me to say word or molester. I got 2 witnesses in my phone. 8/9/21, the apartment building for me, second closest fence. A lady and little girls were outside talking about. 4 or 5 neighbors did a police report of being drugged and told to say it before. 12/95 Fairlawn, same thing. Talked to several people in 21. We have a lady November 1st to 3rd of 21. Of them making everything up on me and everything was them and not me. Then we got Ed at the local apartment, the guy at the Hunger Task Force. We got my client in Navarre, next door neighbor of everything being drugged, photoshopped, made up on me. MP did ordered it to January 19th, 22, Department of Disability. They told all of them I was drugged and told to say it before. February 2nd, 22, a Latino man admitted he drugged me first in Burlington Coat Factory. That at noon, he drugged me first and told me to say I never even seen him before. People went running and screaming. The person I was with was like, I heard that Latino man admit to drugging you first and telling you to say it. I'm like, stay out of it. Okay. We were in Canton. This brown house across the way, ran out, yelled it to the postman. Postman's like, we all heard it. An investigator from Ravenna showed up in a black Sebring, pulled up next to us. I seen her out today. I found out that bastard really did drug her and tell her to say it before. Okay. May 25th, May 12th, 22, the shower scene. They found the tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26, 22, at noon. The shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. November 18th, 22, Eric, one of the drug dealers. All the tapes to forward me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it. My idea to do it. My idea to say it. For all these people to turn on her, and they fell for it. Ha ha ha. Well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, and they still fell for it. Okay? I confronted Danny and Jen on Christmas Eve of 22. Did you know where they kicked in my door on the 6th day? Did you know about button cameras? No. That's cyber stalking. It's automatic jail time. It's a felony invasion of privacy. Like they said, that idiot can't hire a stalker. You can't hire a drug dealer to run a drug scam on me. It's ridiculous what these people are doing. They think Andrew Darabic was bad up there. These talk about scary movie shit. This is scary movie shit. Preying on people in their home. Okay? I asked them if they knew about a shower scene in the other room. No. I said, did you know that where I had bruises all over me, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out? Did you know they were drug and beating me and telling me weird and molester stuff? No, I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. I didn't think about it. Kids came out of the room. Grandma, we didn't know. Is that what's going on? Because I was fine till I moved in that house, and all of a sudden I'm so sick it's ridiculous, and got marks all over me. And then personally infected. And I'm being human trafficked out of my own home under drugs. Drugged up and told to say stuff, photoshopping of showering, photoshopping of all kinds of crazy stuff. This is remember the truth. They'll try to implant lies. They'll try to steal everything you have in life. They tell everybody it's a big extortion group. It's a drug scam from the cartel. Okay? June 7th, 23, Lighthouse Tabernacle. Katie's sister, Jody, makes fun of, and the cartel makes fun of FBI agent John. FBI agent John fell for the stunt on T4. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent actually fell for it. It was only a stunt. Had me drug, beat, raped. It was only a stunt to an occult. Photoshopping or washing, setting off a hate crime is only a stunt to them. By federal law, what was supposed to happen to them? They were to be arrested the first day for harming me, selling kiddie porn, and my grandkids going potty on the internet, exploiting them. So is the FBI going to say it's okay to rape people? It's okay to human traffic them? It's okay to beat, drug, rape people? It's okay? It's okay to sell kiddie porn and exploit children on the internet. It's okay to exploit people on the internet. It is okay to cyberstalk. You better let Andrew Darabic go. Drug people up for fake confessions, photoshopping, washing, and the poor victim has no idea why they're so sick and bruised and infected. Go to the doctor. What on earth is wrong with me? They have all the signs of being drug, beaten, raped, documented by a doctor, and nobody's thinking a rapist. So you're allowed to rape people. You're allowed to beat them. You're allowed to drug them up and tell them to say stuff. You're allowed to run racketeering schemes, sextortion schemes, right? You're allowed to human traffic people, right? Start thinking what they did to me. And I never seen or talked to anybody before the FBI. It's documented by the police. I was framed by the drug cartel. No, it's a drug cartel doing it. Now, I want you to think where that woman yelled out they did all this for her daughter. I asked Dixie, did you know about Michelle? Yeah, I know about her. And the young blonde girl? Yeah, I know about her. I said, did you know about Pete? I said, oh, I found out about him. She said it was ridiculous what him and Michelle did to you for Dave to go out with other people. Oh, you think? Now, I want you to think, where did that Pete know that he could call FBI agent John? And he wouldn't arrest him for confessing to several life sentences. How did he know he wouldn't arrest him? See, my one friend on January 13th, 23, said I race horses professionally. Went to one of the Ohio drug dealers. They said all the drug dealers know you didn't know. That agent was in debt to that drug dealer. And that's why he let it happen. And they're all mad. The next week he showed up with the U.S. Marshals. August 30th, 23, I'm in Fred Martin. Bad cars are driving by. I can see them. I know what they are. Okay? This Indian couple's in there looking at a car. Fred Martin would have the receipts of who looked at a car and who bought them. Okay? I'm getting my car worked on again. Okay? They have a little baby. It's just, they sit down next to me and the baby's looking at me. So you look at it and go, hi. And you talk to it because it's little and it's looking at you. The guy gets up on the phone. He said, hey, she's okay with us. Do you want to pull over and meet her? You don't want her to know who actually did this to her. Did you get enough money to pay him back? Then tell him to leave her alone. Somebody was in debt to those drug dealers. How did that drug dealer, Pete, know that he could go to that FBI agent, admit he was cyber stalking somebody, drug beating, raping him, human trafficking him, running a scam on him, selling kiddie porn, and that agent wouldn't arrest him? How did he know that? Because later on, Michelle's mother showed up. We called Will and explained Michelle, and he set her up. December 14th, 23, McDonald's North Main, 4:45 p.m. I'm in between shifts. I try to grab a hamburger, get rid of my extra cans of pop out of my car. All these cars, undercover police are swarming me. Okay? This white guy walks out with this lady and little kid. Yells out, I heard Karen's Will's here today. I came down to make sure she didn't get any money. I told Dave I set her up and I stole her money. Okay? Everybody slams on the brakes. I go take care of my client. Go home, get a shower. I'm picking up a third shift. Go out to Hartville. They're off in the distance. We told that guy none of this is funny. We know she don't know who he is. And we taped him admitting he was in it with Dave and stole her money. By Sunday, out in Alliance, they were saying a lot of people didn't show up. Officer Mark told everyone to leave her alone. He taped the agent over her case saying he was in it with Dave and stole her money. Where did Pete know that he could go to John? He wouldn't arrest him. It's a felony invasion of privacy, setting up button cameras. It's stalking. Like they said, that idiot can't hire a stalker. I talked to Officer Reinhardt Louisville. I told him about the shower scene in the other room. He crossed the arm and started giggling. I said I never talked to anybody. I had bruises. I was throwing up, sick. I was supposed to have fake sodium pentothal reports, supposed to drug me and told me to say all kinds of crazy crap. I never seen anybody, and I was sick and I was bruised. He said, I don't care what they say, God. I don't care what they say they did. He said, I'll tell you what, until that agent took your statement and agreed to protect you and has statement of threat of life from everyone in that house, even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home outside that case. It's illegal to look at listen. I went to the Stark County Prosecutor's Office. My one friend that worked there, it's a fraud scheme, Karen, where you have bruises you couldn't explain and da-da-da-da-da. They probably were drugging you and telling you to say something stupid. You never talked to anyone. The photoshopping or showering and washing to make you look weird, it's clicking and pasting. He said, in date rape drugs, we all know you're sleepwalking. It's a big fraud scheme, and they did the biggest mistake. They did it in your home. It's the Fourth Amendment over the house. I went to the Portage County Sheriff's. What these people did is illegal. I told them about the shower scene. That's illegal. Told them about the bruises, throwing up. They're lying. They have sodium pentothal reports. That's illegal. Everything these people did is illegal. Ravenna chief of police. Now you tell me, why are these people participating in a hate crime that a drug dealer's running a drug scam on somebody? They have told people, if she ever moves away, we're going to have to tell them the drug cartel is running scams on people. Now, I want you to think, that agent going up to Apostolic Church of Barberton, telling people that I called the FBI hotline before he talks to me, acts like a crazy occult person, tells them he knows they're drug beating, raping me. That rape's okay. Drugging somebody up is okay. And he's going along with it because Strange's far out made up lie of faking you were sick 15 years ago. Now, it's a medication error, medical malpractice. And I found out it was supposed to be stupid Katie up there telling him that I was mean to her and I hadn't talked to her in 7 years. And that he was going to let them hurt me. And he didn't care they were hurting me. because somebody called me a faker and somebody else said I was mean to him. I had talked to him and it was a medication error, medical malpractice, and that he was going to let it all happen to me. And he already knew it was happening. He told the Apostolic Church of Barberton that. On a recorded line then, the next day when I tell him someone told on me, he bullies me and he admits he met with the Vegas, the church people, and he was going along for strangers' lie. Of the faking you were sick and faking you got well. It's like, look, I really was sick. You liar. I met with all them. He admitted he told on me several times, making me beg for my life, bullies me into false statements under threats of arrest. Admits he knows about the rapist Pete, the drug dealer that's running the scam. Laughing how he's framing me. And how I didn't even know who he is. I have never met him. They're talking about, like the teenage girls last year, the FBI made fun of her for being drug, being raped. The FBI made fun of her for being human trafficked. They were using amnesia drugs and she wasn't realizing what was happening. And they need to take care of those two idiots for making fun of her for being raped. I don't know, recorded line. And for the rapist that was doing it and how he's scamming me. And laughing at me. And it's a drug dealer. Made me beg for my life, then lists me informant with money and immunity, then threatens me if I tell, and he's already admitted he told everybody. Like they said, everybody knew about my family. And then he stole my money. And fed me to the cartel. The sheriffs and marshals used the case, got over 1,000 bad guys. Where the FBI goes on TV, their countrywide human trafficking scam, we were a big piece of it. Where I call it nationwide, we're part of their countrywide. The marshals have been here since January, at least January of last year. But probably before. And they just found 32 children they had taken. Oh, they were talking about that in Bueller's. Nobody's to say a word to her. The people they hired, they found 32 of the children they had taken with them. Oh, do you realize with that case, they found 230 children nationwide they had taken. People have come up to me. You ought to be proud of yourself. You helped save lives. The officers that watch me, you cannot disrespect me in front of them. Officer John yelled out in January 19, it's ridiculous for any child to be afraid of Karen. She's nothing but good in love. In May of this year on a Sunday in Myers, North Maine, some lady said I talked to the police that work her case. They said it's ridiculous for anybody to ever insult her. She almost died to save children. And they already knew their whole backup plan, if she didn't die, was the photoshopping of showering to make her look weird. And they already knew it was photoshopped. And that they had drugged her up and told her to say it before. And it was to try to extort money or things from her if she didn't die. It was a backup plan. People were talking about it outside too. The police said they already knew this was a backup plan. And she almost died to save children. In 19 and 20, people love me. I mean, I would go in. There's that FBI informant. She almost died to save her family. Domestic violence shelters showed up. We'd love to have her speak when it's over. Teenage kids trying to fix me up with their dads. It was weird, but sweet. We all know she's innocent. She's not half bad, and she'd make a great stepmom. Do you know even teenagers where there's so many versions of the tapes before it's not funny. Even an investigator said that. January of 22, a ladies group came down. Said we came down to verify she's never said she did anything wrong before. And when she wiped off that water, she went straight down. Didn't expose herself, as if anybody would care about that. And those people raped her. Teenage girls. Well, we all know she never said she did anything wrong before. Okay? And her just brushing off water, they can't make anything out of it. They couldn't even try. What are they doing? There was a lady in like May of 21. You didn't expose yourself, you're good. That's how far they're altered. I've heard of all kinds of crazy scenes. They're supposed to Photoshop to raise some guy named Chris out of the room. They said he was one of the main people hurting me. I have never met him. I want you to think of this. Sexual predators, rapists, drug dealers, running drug scams on people in their home. How would you like to take a drink out of a Diet Coke and the room go dizzy and black? Wake up hours later, throwing up, bruises on you. Not, where did I bang my arm or my leg? Throwing up and almost passing out. Wake up with marks that look like injection marks and more bruises and a severe personal infection. Take you out how I pee, go to the doctor. What on earth is wrong with me? No memory of anything that happened to you. What do you think of that? Never seen or talked to anybody. Is it the dirty well water killing me? It looks like poop water. I have to shower real quick. I wash my hands in it. We bring in bottled water, cook and drink. But is it making me sick and killing me? Maybe, did you fall? No. Maybe come anemic, give you iron pills. My muscles are hurt, and we'll give you muscle relaxers. My head's killing me. I've been throwing up. My personal area, I think the water is infecting it. It's so swollen I can't hardly pee. I'm on pills and creams. You think it's funny violating people like that and raping them and human trafficking them under drugs? And drugging them up and telling them to say stuff and photoshopping scenes like that? Now you think about that agent leaving me like that. And letting them rape and torture me, crush my head in. I like my damn money. I earned it. Through Michael Peterson giving up track of Sami. He got arrested. There was a $10 million reward. He may have stole that. He stole over $300,000 from my case. Sheriff David, a criminal attorney, other police out of this area, prosecutor's office, he don't even have authority to ask you to take quiet. He's only a higher police officer, First Amendment. It takes a judge to put a gag order on you. You can tell whoever you want, you can't say a word. He's only a higher police officer. He's only bullying you. I said, well, he's already confessed and been seen telling on me. He said, it don't matter. You can tell whoever you want. He's just bullying you. Please know that. Fourth Amendment, nobody can be in your home. 14th Amendment, you cannot seize somebody's money but due process of the law. You have to be found guilty and sued for it. You cannot withhold protection either. You also have a right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney. They're just lying to you people. They can do all this stuff so they can do it to you. And you would think you would get no help. Now I want you to think, where Officer Reinhardt Louisville even told me, if there is a retired judge from Portage County involved, Portage County could never work a case against you in your whole life. Conflict of interest, friends and family. Well, the same with FBI. If Pete and John are friends, they couldn't either. Conflict of interest, they go to jail. And he told me to admit to no wrongdoing and take care of everything in the end. I like my damn money. My son Josh, his stomach's bleeding. They think he's got an internal hemorrhoid. They can't find it. I need to get him a better doctor. He's had to have a blood transfusion. He has 3 daughters. His wife cannot support those 3 girls without him. And they need him to live. Some guy was complaining yesterday. She said she wants her money to save her son's life. She earned that money. We all know that. I have a dented in skull. I've been raped, tortured. I've been human trafficked. I've been almost shot in the head driving. I had to hide on a shooting night. I faced 6 stalkers. Drugged till I lost 70 pounds and my stomach shifted up under my ribs. While they got 1,000 bad guys, I suffered through hell. And they saved hundreds of children. I earned that fucking damn money. Agent John, you didn't suffer like this. I did. Like the prosecutor's office. It'd be illegal for the FBI to ever drop you. These people actually try to kill you. They could wait and try to kill you again. They owe you money for the rest of your life, for risking your life to get them information. And it's only for working the case. And then they owe you for the rest of your life. You're actually in a witness protection program, Karen. You don't realize it. And until they put you in another witness protection program, you'll stay in informant for life. And they owe you for the rest of your life for risking your life to get that information. Like they said last year, she was part of a really big bust. They better be paying her. I need the money to get Josh a better doctor. I want to pay off some of his bills so they don't have to work so hard. He has 3 daughters. He can't. He collapsed. And they had to give him a blood transfusion. He was so anemic. He's on high doses of iron pills. I wanted to see if they can't find that and get a different doctor, if they can find that internal hemorrhoid. And maybe seal it. I don't want him to die. Dave tried to kill his family. Where I called that agent that he was threatening their life. They had him take lug nuts off their tires so their tires would come off, re-loosen them again, flatten tires, slash tires, play with their brake system so their tires would explode. And then Josh's car blew up on the highway. And the time they got there, they couldn't say what happened. Where Dave said they'd be next. That bastard had him almost kill his own children, his own child and his grandchildren. And they act like they didn't know anything so he wouldn't harm them. And was nice to his face, knowing he was the one having people do it. You don't ever need to come back to this country. All this over a square box and some shiny jewels. Think about that. And then he threw everything away and fled the country. Because other people he was connected to were going to jail. So he fled forever. I hope whatever he's transporting between Japan and Philippines, and he's flying every few months, I hope the government over there gets him, because he's moving something, or he wouldn't be flying 3,000 miles every few months, and somebody's paying for it. I hope he ends up in a foreign prison. That they don't speak English. That's called justice. And he's scared for his life the rest of his life for what he did here. I'm going to upload this.